December 2025. UK house prices didn't crash. They didn't collapse. They did something quieter. Sellers started blinking first. Asking prices dropped 1.8% in a single month. And that small number? It's telling us everything about what's coming next. Let's break it down. Here's what most people miss about housing. The price isn't one number. It's a chain. Asking price, offer, survey renegotiation, mortgage valuation, completion. Sold prices arrive at the end. Rightmove data arrives at the beginning. So when Rightmove shows asking prices dropping, it's sellers adjusting expectations in real time. December 2025 is a textbook example. Asking prices fell 1.8% month on month. Average now sitting at £358,138. That's 0.6% lower than a year ago. On paper, doesn't sound dramatic. In reality, it's a signal. Because when sellers cut first, buyers have already stepped back. Nobody wakes up thinking, fancy giving away 20 grand today. Sellers reduce because viewings dried up. Offers stopped coming. Listings went stale. And eventually, the penny drops. Rightmove mentioned something interesting. Confidence was dragged in the second half of 2025. Budget uncertainty. Property tax rumors. Stamp duty speculation. Whether those rumors were realistic doesn't matter. Markets don't just react to facts. They react to what people think might happen. And when people are nervous, they don't buy. They wait. They refresh Rightmove 17 times a day, hoping something changes. That's why asking prices are so revealing. They're not just about value. They're about belief. And right now, sellers are quietly admitting the old prices might not work anymore. But here's where it gets interesting. Activity is actually UP. People are browsing. People are clicking. So what's really going on? Every January, you hear the same thing. Boxing Day bounce. Sounds lovely. Everyone's bored of the in-laws. They start scrolling Rightmove on the sofa. Views spike. Inquiries jump. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Activity is not the same as demand. Browsing is not buying. Clicking is not completing. A saved search is not a signed contract. A market can look buzzing on the surface. Thousands of views. Hundreds of inquiries. But underneath? Completions stay weak. Chains collapse. Nothing actually moves. For a sale to complete, buyers must pass affordability checks. Secure a mortgage. Survive the survey. Hold their nerve. That's a lot of hurdles. A lot of places where everything goes pear-shaped. Bank of England data shows mortgage approvals dipped slightly in November 2025. Around 64,500. Not a collapse. But not a surge either. And here's the telling bit. Consumer credit growth strengthened at the same time. What does that mean? Households are still under pressure. People are juggling. Credit cards. Buy now, pay later. When you're juggling monthly finances, taking on a massive mortgage doesn't feel comfortable. Not every interested buyer becomes a completed buyer. Not everyone browsing has the deposit. Not everyone booking viewings can afford to offer. So the market moves cautiously, slowly, with more hesitation than anyone admits. And sellers feel the need to compete. That's why asking price cuts matter. They're a quiet admission. The old price doesn't work anymore. In the UK housing market, people don't buy a house. They buy a payment. That's the difference between fine on paper and brutal in reality. House prices down 0.6%? Sounds manageable. Monthly payment up £400? Face changes immediately. Rightmove shows the first-time buyer sector saw asking prices fall 1.4% in December. That's not seasonal noise. That's a vulnerable group feeling it first. First-time buyers are on the edge of what lenders allow. No equity from previous sales. No bank of mum and dad deposit. No flexibility. When rates rise, they can't absorb it. They hit the wall. They don't negotiate harder. They pause. Step back. Wait. Stay in rentals another year. Watch savings get eaten by rent increases. Absolutely doing their heads in. But no choice. Now, the Bank of England cut rates to 3.75% in December. Close vote, 5-4. Rates may fall gradually further. Sounds like relief, right? Gradually is the key word. Gradually means slowly. Don't expect miracles overnight. Mortgage rates don't instantly drop because the bank cuts a quarter point. Lenders have their own margins, their own costs, their own risk appetite. And buyers? They don't rush back when rates might be lower in 6 months. They wait for proof. They wait for certainty. I'll hold off until spring. I'll wait for the next cut. During that waiting period, sellers are stuck. Hold firm and sit for months. Or cut early and pull forward whatever demand exists. The brutal maths? £300,000 mortgage at 2%, around £1,270 a month. Same mortgage at 5%, over £1,750 a month. That's £500 extra. Every single month. Where's that coming from? Nowhere, for most people. That's the affordability wall. It's not about what houses cost. It's about what people can actually pay. Millions are on the wrong side of that wall right now. But it gets worse. Because this isn't just about buyers being stuck. It's about chains. And when chains break, things get properly messy. Here's what people outside the UK don't understand. Our market runs on chains. One sale funds another purchase. That purchase funds another sale. Sometimes 5, 6, 7 links deep. Works smoothly when confidence is stable. Everyone moving at the same pace. Nobody having second thoughts. But when prices soften, selling times stretch, buyers get nervous. Chains become fragile. One wobbly link and everything collapses. Picture this. You've got a 3-bed semi. £80,000 equity. Want to upsize to a 4-bed. Another kid on the way. Normal market? List. Get offers. Use equity. Move. Lovely. This market? List. Viewing slow. Offers come in low. Equity shrinks. Suddenly your deposit isn't enough. Need a bigger mortgage. Back to affordability. Might not qualify. So you shrink ambitions. Or don't move at all. And if you don't move, the person buying your place can't move. The person buying their place can't move. Whole chain stalls. This is silent gridlock. No dramatic headlines. Just, nothing moves. Transactions drop. Everyone frustrated. Absolute shambles. The cruel irony? While sale prices cool, rents keep rising. ONS data shows private rents climbing strongly, even as house price growth eases. So renters face worst of both. Buying too expensive. Renting getting more expensive. Escape route not opening. I've seen threads on Our Housing UK. Genuinely heartbreaking. People saving for years. Done everything right. Cut back on everything. Still priced out. Proper gutted. Can't blame them. A slowdown doesn't just affect people moving. It affects the entire housing machine. Developers, builders, lenders. They all depend on throughput. Sales completing. Mortgages approved. Transactions at steady pace. When throughput slows, system gets cautious. Builders don't need a crash to slow down. Just weaker conversions. More cancellations. More time to shift stock. That's when you see stamp duty paid. Free flooring upgrade. £10,000 deposit contribution. These aren't generosity. They're competition. When buyers aren't queuing. Reservations taking longer. Show homes quieter. Builders work harder. Discount more. Get creative. Not catastrophe. But not confidence either. Major house builder results from late 2025? Cautious language. Measured approach. Adapting to conditions. Disciplined land buying. Translation? Being careful. Not building aggressively. Waiting to see what happens. Fewer new homes built. Fewer construction jobs. Fewer completions. Lenders react too. Not slamming brakes overnight. But tightening around edges. Rate pricing changes. Products pulled suddenly. Affordability calculations stricter. Risk appetite shrinks. The 5-year fix you saw last week? Suddenly 0.2% higher. Or withdrawn completely. And there's a policy angle. FCA will consult in early 2026 on mortgage market rule changes. Could help some borrowers. But raises questions about standards and risk. Making mortgages easier to get doesn't make houses affordable. Just changes who the buyers are. And the risks in the system. We've seen this before. 2007, 2008. Easy lending. Rising prices. Then, well, not saying we're heading there again. Different crisis. Different causes. But the lesson matters. Loosening standards creates activity. Doesn't solve underlying problems. Just delays them. Important point before we wrap up. The UK isn't one housing market. It's dozens. Maybe hundreds. London different from Manchester. Bristol different from Newcastle. Edinburgh different from Cardiff. Some areas still seeing competition. Multiple offers. Quick sales. Prices holding. Other areas? Ghost towns. Listings sitting months. Price reduction stacking. Nothing moving. When Rightmove says 1.8% drop nationally, that's an average. Hides huge variation. Some places up 2%. Others down 5%. South East and London under particular pressure. Affordability already stretched to breaking point. When rates rise, they feel it first. Some Northern and Midlands towns showing resilience. Lower prices. Better affordability ratios. But even there, not simple. Local wages matter. Local employment matters. Factory closes, housing feels it. Postcode lottery. Except nobody feels like winning. So where are we? Not crashing. Number 2008 style collapse. No mass repossessions. But not fine either. Not healthy. Not working properly. A market signaling stress without screaming. The facts. Asking prices fell 1.8% in December. Bigger seasonal drop than usual. Slightly below last year. Bank of England easing rates. But cautiously. Slowly. Mortgage approvals not surging. Consumer credit growing. Households under pressure. Rent still high. Chains fragile. Builders cautious. Lenders adjusting. Put together? Not everything's fine. Not it's over. Something more uncomfortable. Market adjusting to new reality. Confidence weaker. Affordability the binding constraint. Sellers competing for buyers who can actually complete. Early warning moment. Not panic headline. Structural shift in behavior. Recalibration. Recalibrations are slow. Painful. Take years to play out. Who gets hurt most? Not the wealthy. Not cash buyers. First-time buyers stretching to limits. Families upsizing at wrong moment. Landlords who leveraged up. Renters stuck with no options. They're not in headlines. Just quietly stressed. Quietly stuck. Watching options narrow. That's the real story. Not a crash. Not a boom. Millions caught in uncomfortable middle. If you're in the UK, what are you seeing? Local market holding? Homes sitting longer? More price reductions? Drop a comment. Tell me your town. Tell me what's happening. National data only tells part of the story. Real story is street by street. Postcode by postcode. Want more breakdowns like this? Calm. Evidence-based. No hype. Subscribe. Hit the bell. Stick around. Next 12 to 24 months will be fascinating. Rate decisions. Policy changes. Psychology shifts. I'll be here. Breaking it down. Making sense of noise. This isn't the end. But it might be the moment people realize. The market already changed. See you in the next one.